that. I don't know. Okay, so welcome back to another webinar session here. This one today is about prove yourself with value proposition. Keyword value today, and you're going to know all kinds of things. Again, I want to thank my friends at the San Diego Chamber of Commerce for giving us this platform that we can all get together as small business owners, entrepreneurs, inventors, and start talking about how we can grow our businesses together. Now, I'm going to get into who I am, the session topics, the agenda, and everything. I really encourage a lot of you. We're going to be very full today, so make sure you mute if you're not talking. I welcome you to do chat at any point in time. I watch it. Hey, Zach, I see that you came back. Then we're gonna have lots of questions, and we're gonna have lots of interactive things today. So be ready, be ready. It's gonna be fun. Okay, here we go. Okay, for some of you that are coming for the first time, again, Doug Younger. I don't go as anything as formal as Douglas Younger III. I can thank my parents for that. But my personal mission statement is hard-earned, hard-fought, hard-won. I am the founder and CEO of 3 Steps Forward. It's a full-service, technology-driven marketing group. I'm also a 20-year marketing veteran. Man, I've been to 40 countries, million miles traveled. I've definitely, as you can tell, I'm more on the glass half full and optimistic. So I just know that up front. As you can see there in this picture, Stephen, one of the members of this chamber, in the last webinar, took me up on my invitation to go to the San Diego Gulls game. And if any of you thought that, I was blowing smoke there, so now you know, get off the bench in the game. If you want to go and check out a hockey game with me, just message me. I will be in town March 12th and April 16th. So there's lots of cool things going there. If you already didn't know, some of you were asking questions. So in terms of 3 Steps Forward, what we do is, and part of the reason that I do a lot of work here, we help small businesses succeed with creative digital marketing. And, we have over 40 businesses. We're partners of the San Diego Gulls officially. I'm also an official partner of the NBA and the Regional Chamber of Commerce. And I do lots of other things. A lot of you don't know, I'm also a lecturer at Cal State University, and I'm exploring some other opportunities at Sacramento State and other universities. So lots of my tactics are kind of getting out there, and I welcome you to check it out. Now, new news, I know the chamber is pretty excited about it. We launched a podcast. It's called Twist of Fate, a Small Business Podcast. Essentially, we bring in CEOs, founders, people like you in this chamber onto the podcast to talk about what was their inspiration in starting their business and the obstacles and challenges that go with it. I definitely recommend each of you, if you're really into the content of these webinars, there's tons of lessons that you'll get out of this podcast. And I also will encourage you to know we will be doing live filming in San Diego with the Gulls Healing Wave Aquatics, which is an aquatic therapy for, right now it's for veterans and individuals that experience PTSD, but they're now expanding into other wellness areas. And I also will be doing an episode with Mount Soledad, the National Veterans Memorial down in San Diego. Please, if you're interested, consider becoming a guest. Fill out the form. It's great exposure for your local business, or consider joining our Patreon if you just like our content and you want us to keep it coming. Other things you'll see in the news, I also am the lead judge for an NBA competition called Capitalize. It's a pitch competition for small business and startups. There's a little listing of the key dates there. A lot of you are outside of the jurisdiction of the rules because it's geographically based, but the art of the pitch and being able to pitch your dream or your business in a succinct, value-oriented way, definitely check out some of the contestants in this competition. I mean, you'll learn a lot from the whole process, and you'll see me out there, which is, I always try to keep it interesting. First of all, I want to say happy International Women's Day, which was yesterday. I hope all of you recognize are strong women and are women in business, right? Like that's what I'm all about. So I am in supportive of you. I also want to remind all of you and give you a special invitation. Mount Soledad is offering a free women's history brunch on March 23rd, 10 a.m. to noon. This is for you ladies, like, all right, like, you look, this is my love letter for you. You should definitely check it out. There'll be guest speakers, great man, Neil O'Connell, Amy, and Captain Sue Young. I really want to recommend, all of the chamber members are invited. You can check it out. You can RSVP online. And look, you can't beat free brunch, right? Like, come on, like there's nothing cheaper than free. So definitely check it out. Okay, now back to our tradition, right? I'm gonna get you guys warmed up. Top 5 fictional novels this time. So my top 5, if you actually really look in the background here, a lot of the novels are actually on the wall here. So Brave New World is my #1 from Aldous Huxley, 1984. Sometimes with like some of the things we see in the news, it feels like we're living in 1984. Fahrenheit 451, Animal Farm, and my favorite, Neuromancer. What I would like to do, as we do in all webinars, please go to the chat, enter in your favorite fictional novel. And no, I will not accept you not saying like, hey, Doug, I do Reddit, bro, or no, YouTube is good. No way. You got to write one book in the chat to share with your other patrons. Why don't you go ahead and go in the chat? This will get you loosened up because there's going to be a lot of group discussion here. Nobody reads. Come on now, I know it. Zach and Steven, you guys are usually all over this. Oh, here we go. Okay, Account of Monte Cristo, it's a great book, Becky. And then Where the Heart Is, Karen, I've heard of it, I haven't read it. A is for, yep, Alan B. We got Hitchhiker's Guide. All right, you guys are getting warmed up. There we go, we're going. Oh, look, Matt's a troublemaker. I love it, I love it. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, lessons for today. Today, you're going to learn about what value conceptually is, living a life of providing value, creating and delivering value, communicating value to customers using frameworks like the value proposition canvas. Don't worry, we're going to go through all of these. The competitive advantage types or positions of communicating value, economic, rational, and emotional argumentations. And I got awesome interactive questions, examples, and we may even have time for an interactive game. Oh boy, like it's getting really crazy. So just sit back and enjoy. And remember, we're going to do a webinar 30 days from now, and you already know the hint that it'll be top favorite films. So make sure you remember what your favorite movie is. Okay, first of all, let's start with value proposition, okay? Value is the economic measure of the benefit provided by your good or your service. Let me be clear, that is not to be confused with your product or features. It's what it does for your customers, okay? And let me say, this distinction is the #1 difference in businesses that win and lose. It's being able to articulate what your service or value does for someone. That is the foundation. And if you want to read a little bit more about some of this concept, check out from Harvard Business Review in the URL at the bottom, what's the best way to create long-term value. Please note, we will upload these slides and the recording of this so you can do your homework offline on some of the points that I have there. Now, this not just in business. I want to be clear because look, I want you guys to feel I'm not just your guide from a business standpoint. I'm your friend. And I'm here to tell you that you need to adopt this concept of creating value in everything you do. So there was a post actually on my own personal LinkedIn. You should all know there's a campaign called 2 Steps Back that runs on my LinkedIn. I encourage all of you to check it out. I give personal managerial tips and tricks to small business owners. This post said, a solid concept for any small business owner or entrepreneur to understand is to always add value, not just for your customers, for your clients, for your employees, for your family members, for your friends. Never forget to add value in everything you do in your professional and personal life. Adherence to this foundational idea ensures your future success as a business leader. After this session, you will agree with me. And then there's another Harvard Business Review article and a great quote that the value of a company is the sum of the problems you solve together. I also will comment that McKinsey has 7 essential elements of lifelong learning as a mindset. Let me tell you, value and being able to create it, being able to explain it, and being value-oriented in your mind, that's my goal to you today. That's my gift. I'm going to teach you how to think that way in everything you do, okay? Now, let's talk about 2 concepts. First of all, value creation. Value creation means you're giving something of value to someone to receive something valuable for you. It's an exchange, okay? That's the foundation of business, should be mutually that one business A gives service to business B and business B reciprocates by paying for said service and vice versa. This goes on and on and on. Now, that is clear. Value delivered is a little bit different. Value delivered is the manner in which you design your products or your service to give maximum value to the customer that's using it. So it's this balance of 1, you creating value and exchanging things, 2, giving your value delivered in a way that you're trying to maximize the utility or the happiness or the value delivered to your customer. And we're going to talk about how you can measure value. But again, there's another great webinar from Harvard Business Review on measuring what consumers really want. Because at the end of the day, what they want is what you want to know so you can figure out how your service delivers value for their needs. Okay, clear. Now, of course, this wouldn't be a session if I didn't get into interactive questions, right? So the first interactive question is, which of the following value delivered concepts, A, B, or C? I'd like you to choose one of them based on, I'm going to EV vehicles today. So 1, is value delivered, in your opinion, by the Tesla Model 3, supercharging, or C, elimination of your gas bill? I want to know your opinion of this. Which one is the value delivered? Please write it in the chat. Just guess, A, B, or C. Just go for it. Just go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, get it out of your system. You know you want to press it. Okay, so we got some. Okay, very good. So the majority's statement is C, elimination of your gas bill. I actually agree. So let me be clear. When you're talking about value delivered, okay, the Tesla Model 3 is the product that delivers value. It's not the value itself. Supercharging, if you don't know about EV vehicles, is how you refuel the car, and fuel being the wrong word because you don't use gas, you use electricity. But supercharging is really how you replenish the vehicle, and that's the alternative to gas. And guess what? Supercharging is just a feature. It's not the value. The value delivered of the Model 3 or supercharging is the elimination of your gas bill. So let me be clear, if I'm going to break this down, if I were talking to a customer or a client or something like this, you actually start by explaining the value first. Then you go into your product and your feature. So I actually would explain this the other way. I would say, hey, do you want to eliminate your gas bill? You can do that because supercharging on EV vehicles can eliminate gas, and the Tesla Model 3 supports supercharging, so that's how you do it. You don't lead with the widget. Don't do that. You lead with the value, okay? Now, what I just did is a way that you communicate certain ideas to customers. And there are 5 considerations you need to have when communicating to customers. 1, this was in the last webinar, which I encourage all of you to check out on replay. Your target customer for your value matters, because it's who are you communicating to is the #1 thing. Their demographics, their economics, their interests will determine the needs and therefore how you communicate your value. That's 1. 2, are you actually providing value? And I'm going to get into some examples about that. Like, You may think your product is the best thing going and coming, but is it really solving a need for somebody? Competitive advantage is, why are you so special? Okay, like your product, you know, you could say, hey, I've been in business for years. This is a family-owned business for 100 years. Yeah, but why are you really so special? And there are 4 areas of criteria I'm going to go through as to why that is. Okay, then the 2 other concepts that are very important. 1, what problems does the customer have? And that's key. Problems, or another way to phrase it, pain. Many customers may not even know they're experiencing pain or problems. They may not even know that they need your service, but it's up to you to educate them, right? Then there's the unique selling points, USPs. These are differentiated points about your product that you really need. There's a great article on any value proposition that hinges on the answer to one question. And that one question unequivocally is, are you really providing value? Not products, not features, value. And that value, that's not even a real thing. You got to remember, I'm talking about an empirical, theoretical thing. It's a perspective or perception that value is created. Okay, don't worry, we're going to get into this. Okay, let's talk about the value proposition framework. Okay, there's some very important concepts here. Okay, on the left, there's a diagram. You know, business school, you know, we teach this stuff. Basically, you have on the left the value proposition. That's you. That's your customer. That's your firm with your customer on the right. Now let's talk about it. First of all, I'm going to start from the customer side. Okay, every customer has 3 things that they really care about. There's pain, gain, and actually what they view is their activities that they're going to do to purchase things. Okay, what you need to think in your mind is, wait a minute, does my product or service, is it a gain creator? Is it a pain reliever? And if it does both, you have done this complex. That middle arrow there, that's the value. It's not the value of you being there. It's not the value of your product or service. It's that if you are truly addressing a pain, delivering a gain, that in between the 2 of you, boom, that's the magic. That's the value created. Here are 3 questions to give you some context on this. First of all, if you really want to be value oriented in communicating your product or service, think this. First of all, question 1, the unmet need. Is your product or service truly alleviating a pain, a real pain? Question 2 is your product or service creating a gain, like a real gain? Is it quantifiable? Is it intangible? 3, is it relevant? Is your product or service valuable? And that relevance is important, and I will have an example about that. Okay, here's the example. Interactive question number 2. Get your little fingers ready. Is it valuable to you to exterminate all rodents in an abandoned field? This is a simple yes or no question. Just go ahead and type it in there. Is it valuable to you to exterminate all rodents in an abandoned field? Now, look, I'll tell you this right now. I don't like rodents. Like, I have a garden in my backyard. You guys don't know. Like, gardening is my thing, right? Like, and rodents are the bane of gardens. You know, I'm fighting squirrels. I'm fighting pests, all kinds of stuff. So I would want, my instinct gut is to say, exterminate them all, dog. Get them all out. And look, people are really getting amped up over this. So there's a lot of no's. So the no's won. But there's a lot of interesting points, and Matt is back at it again. That guy is a troublemaker, and I love it. He said, could be my dessert when I'm starving. Well, look, that's a survivalist right there. But here's the actual, there's no right or wrong answer, but I will comment like this. How much value is there really in exterminating rodents if it's an abandoned, keyword, abandoned field? Like, nobody's there. And this is something you need to think about your products, okay? You need to think in a highly contextualized way. Is the unmet need you're resolving does it really matter to somebody? Because then you're selling them something that they don't really want, or it's not really solving a core problem. That's something where you really, really have to look yourself in the eye and say, your service, your product may be great, but do they really need it? Is it really addressing them? That's an important point of this little exercise. Now let's talk about when you communicate that value, your frame of reference where you came from really matters, okay? Now, companies, and I'm saying entities or groups of you, so it's not just you or me, just Doug as the owner or the founder, it's everybody has a competitive advantage of their organization. And it's broken down 4 ways. Some people compete on brand. A great example of this is Apple. Now, a lot of you don't even know Apple's brand value is $263 million. Now, keep in mind that organization is worth billions of dollars. But I'm saying the actual value of the name Apple is quantifiable in this way. If you compete on brand, you distinguish yourself by the goods, the look, the feel, the fonts, the experience, everything about it. So some of you listening here, you really need to categorize, you're going to fit in one of these 4 buckets. Now, if brand didn't make sense to you, I'm going to move on to the next one. Tech. So tech is about competing on a particular technique, a skill, a method, or process that's an innovation. And 100%, like, I mean, when I was in business school, you guys don't know, I bought Amazon at $32 a share. Now, don't get me wrong, I got out. I should have kept it. I should have held on way longer. But who would have thought, like, Amazon, right, would be huge. But those guys make money so many different ways, so many innovative ways, that they're now generating $386 billion per year. Crazy technology. They're a technology company. You may say, hey, no, they just deliver to my house. So much tech goes into their logistics, planning, all this. Price. Now, this is my least favorite one. I'm going to tell you that right now. I market on value, not on price. But some businesses are built around the concept of competing on the way you pay or the way your compensation method works. Walmart is king in this area. I mean, look, they're selling 75 million products per year at the lowest margins. That's their business model, to just price gouge everybody down. You know, maybe the price is too low. But from a value standpoint, they have an understanding of what they do. And lastly, Facebook, which I get a lot of you going to roll your eyes and go, oh, Doug, why'd you bring up Facebook? I hate that. Well, guess what? It's still the largest social media platform in the world, 2.91 billion people. This is an example of a company competing on community. My recommendation to all of you, if you are going to communicate the value that your service or product is, you need to make sure you understand what your competitive advantage is, because that's how you uniquely differentiate what you do, okay? There's also, if you want to dive deeper in this, great article there, 4 methods of competitive advantage that gets into strategic alliances and all kinds of interesting other implementation techniques of your competitive advantage. Okay, this is my favorite section now. So let's talk about, okay, you want to convince somebody, okay? Now make no mistake, if you want to convince somebody of value, you need to come from a frame of reference called argumentation, okay? Argumentation comes in 3 forms. We're going to start with rational argumentation first. Some people, like this young lady here, when they present in front of you as a customer, their frame of reference is all about being rational or rationality. It means they want to incorporate all the relevant information in direct proportion to its relevance, okay? And let me explain, like, if you run into a rational-minded customer, okay, keep it simple, keep it succinct, and follow this structure. You need to give them the premise, which is your evidence. You need to give them an inference, which is your implication. And let me say, I'm a marketer. That means you're going to give a suggestion. Hey, maybe you consider buying this, it might solve your problem. And then you're going to give the conclusion or the validity, that, hey, if you consider this fact, if you agree with my assumption, then you can get some gain, which is that can be proven. And I get it. This is very empirical, so I'm going to go through an example. Example reads, energy prices are increasing. So eliminating your gas bill would be smart by purchasing a Tesla Model 3 and conveniently supercharging it to save money. I'm going back to this question we asked earlier. Okay, 1, notice I underlined energy prices are increasing. I think you all agree, you're watching at least what's happening in Ukraine, and now with the embargo, and where gas prices are going up. So I think everybody agrees. That's a factual statement. Now, eliminating your gas bill. Who would not want to eliminate their gas bill if prices of gas are increasing? So I think right now you guys can at least get behind that. Makes sense. That's factually accurate. Now here comes the inference or the implication. Notice I took a big leap here. I said being smart would be purchasing a Tesla Model 3. Now I could have said, hey, you should consider an EV. Hey, you should consider turning your lights off. You could consider walking or riding your bike. But see, that's the nuance though. The implication is the marketing technique. I am making a judgment and making a recommendation. That's what you need to do. Then the end game is, and conveniently, you can supercharge it. That's a feature. It's a value driver of the end goal or the value, which is to save money. So this is where you have to understand, this is a value rational argument. I started with stating the facts. Then I said, look, the goal here, we all want to eliminate our gas bill. And at the end of the day, there's a product and a feature that can do it. And oh, by the way, we all agree, you got to save money. That is a rational argument, okay? Very important distinction. Now let's go to the next one. Emotional argumentation. Now look, let me say something here, especially by the picture of the young lady. This is a different customer archetype. Some customers, let me be honest with you, it doesn't matter what you say. They got to try it on. They got to test drive it. They got to experience it themselves. They're not going to take your word for it. And let me tell you, be careful on emotional argumentation. Be careful. I'm going to go through this. So positioning to make an emotional argument means you're going to appeal to consequences or pain. You're going to appeal to fear. You're going to appeal to flattery. You're going to appeal to ridicule, spite, and even wishful thinking. Here's an example of this one. Let's say we take the young lady here and say, my car broke down, so I'm considering buying a new one. And I'm going to test drive a Tesla Model 3. And even if I can't afford it, I can finance it. And I'll buy it if I look good in it. Oh, wow. Like, you know, take it easy, Doug. Right? Take it easy. This is an interesting situation. One, her car breaking down is a real thing. That's pain, right? Like if she's got to drive to work and now she's got to catch the bus, she's in pain. Two, the consideration that she's buying a new one, look, she's being pretty open that she's going to do something on it. Three, notice the test drive came up. That is a #1 indicator that somebody's probably susceptible to emotional argumentation because they got to experience it themselves. The rational argument isn't enough. They got to feel it. They need to experience it. Then I reference the product again. And notice I didn't reference supercharging because it's not going to matter to her. One, if they can't afford it, financing, which is definitely a feature, it lowers the barrier to entry for her. She can still play. And most importantly, that she looks good in it. Now, obviously, this is a very exaggerated example, but I think what you can already see, this is a very different argument for the same product, for the same good. Notice, because it's a different type of person, you have to repackage how you communicate. I just will say this, appealing to people's emotions, and this is ethical, Doug, speaking. It's a slippery slope, guys. I'm going to tell you that. It's not easy, okay? Because emotion is a primary motivator of confidence and decision-making. This is true. But as long as you create value, you can do this responsibly, okay? This is, look, Apple does it to you. Don't think that a lot of these major commercial products are appealing to your emotions. Believe that. A lot of purchases are social status symbols. But as long as you do it with the mind of delivering value in your statements. Here's the last example. Now, this is the economic argumentation, okay? Now, look, I already know, some of you that have customers already know, when a customer shows up and if they're concerned about quantifiable value, you want to run the other direction. You're like, they're gonna price negotiate me to the floor, right? That's the first thing you think. You know, I'm hoping to make you feel differently. These individuals like this care about economic value drivers and measures. They're gonna think in a way that this is probably the smallest subset of customers you're gonna see, but they actually have strong buying power. They care about concepts like return on investment, cost savings, total cost of ownership, the break-even point, the internal rate of return, pricing, promotional discounts. When it comes to financing, they're going to say, what's the APR? They're going to want all the data, basically, okay? So let's talk about, again, same products. Let's communicate differently this time. Let's say my next vehicle purchase will be EV. So I'm evaluating my options. Almost the same statement that the emotional person did, but it's a little different. And I'm exploring the miles per charge, tax credits, switching costs from gas vehicles. I would consider a Tesla Model 3, but the value per dollar isn't clear. And the return on investment will take years. Okay, now let's unpack this one, okay? They want the same thing that the other person wanted. They need to buy a new vehicle. They're not saying why. You don't even know, and they don't care. I'm evaluating my options. Already means they're considering things. This should be, for you, green light. You shouldn't run from the storm. You need to steer into the storm here. Then they're going to say, I want to know miles per charge, tax credits, switching costs. This is it. These are parameters of value that could be drivers or value that it could actually take money away from them, right? Switching costs means it could cost them more to switch over than to maintain their present course. And you need to make them feel better about that. And then obviously you reference the product. Notice the value per dollar in return on investment, or ROI. You need to think of these things from this person's mindset, because I can tell you something. Even though they may start off as, I want to know the quantifiable value, that doesn't mean they want discounts. If you can articulate the value properly, this person actually may be price insensitive. They might say, I'm willing to pay 10x, 20x of my current situation if it makes sense. So I hope this example explains to you economic argumentation. Now, I want to get this interactive again. So what type of customer, when you consider purchasing a vehicle, are you? Are you rational minded? Are you emotional minded? And are you economically minded? And I'm going to challenge all of you. Be honest here. Don't be honest. A, B, or C. Are you typically a rational buyer, an emotional buyer, an economic one? Look at this. Now it's getting interesting. Look at this. Now, some people can't make up their mind. They're a mix, right? They're going to say, hey, Doug, it depends what you're wearing when you pitch it, Doug, right? I might suddenly get emotional because I like you, right? Then there's some other ones. Oh, if they throw in a full tank of gas. Look, you guys are real interesting. Okay, so what you can already see, notice there's no pattern here, no trend. I want to be clear on this. This is why, as a business owner, when you're thinking of your product or service and the value you deliver, you've got to qualify who you're talking to. Are they motivated rationally, economically, emotionally? And your tactics have to change. same product, same features, but the messaging has to shift based on them. I hope that's super clear to everyone. Okay, now I got some value proposition interactive examples. Okay, now this is where it gets fun. Trust me, you guys are gonna really, really get into this. Okay, let's talk about InNOut Burger. Let's go for InNOut today. Okay, so let's talk about, so first of all, company. The brand story of InNOut. Just, I'm gonna make this simple, guys. American fast food making everything old school, right? That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, okay? What's their brand promise? Quality you can taste. And they have 3 pillars of their value delivered, uniquely speaking. First of all, quality preparation method. Now, this goes back to my example. How much quality goes into a fast food burger? Right? This is like the mouse in the field, in the abandoned field, right? Like, wait a minute, but Doug, wait, take it easy. Next, affordable menu. Third, a nostalgic experience. Okay, I want everybody to write an answer to this question. I think this will be interesting. Have you ever seen these long lines at InNOut Burger? You ever seen the cars where they're like down the street for that little cheap burger? I want you to write in there, yes or no. Are you willing to wait 2 hours for an InNOut Burger? Go ahead, sound off in the chat. Will you wait 2 hours for it? No, be honest now. Be honest now. Oh, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Somebody said if it's across the street from where I house, then I'll definitely walk over there. Yeah. So notice, this is fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. I knew this would happen. I knew it. Now notice, none of you are saying yes, right? Some people are saying, well, maybe I'll wait 20 minutes, Doug. You know, maybe 35. But here's the interesting thing. If all of you are saying no, and there's definitely a lot of you in here, and you're representative of the population, notice people are still going over there. Now, see, now this is the funny thing. Each of you are thinking about that value to you, but we didn't bring up the kids in your car that most certainly are going to say, hey, I'm going for InNOut Burger, Mom. I don't care what you say. I don't care about your value system. I care about mine. And my stomach says we're going for InNOut Burger. So this is an interesting lesson in this example. Never underestimate influencers. They can push somebody to do something they don't want to do, right? Because look, now, okay, I'm willing to bet. Okay, how many of you in here have never had an InNOut Burger? How many here have not had an InNOut Burger? Say, I have not had an InNOut Burger. Write that down. See, I see the chat's quiet now. See, look, exactly. Some people will get mad. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean you didn't have it? Oh, yeah, look, okay, I see it. Some people are saying, I don't eat beef anymore, right? Like, I went vegetarian, right? Like, notice they don't offer the Impossible Burger, but here's what I'm telling you. Look at all of you that would say the value delivered is not worth 2 hours, but yet all of you have had an InNOut Burger. This is a tricky thing, guys, tricky thing. Okay, let's go to the next example. Now, we're out of COVID now, right? We're out of COVID, I think. Well, at least in our mentality, I think all of us are done with it, right? We're frustrated. Okay, let's rewind the clock. A lot of you didn't know during the pandemic, the #1 sold product on Amazon was the Hamilton Beach portable blender. You guys don't know. You probably bought it and already lost it, or you never opened the box, but you definitely bought it. This product sold like crazy. I mean, crazy. But you say, well, Doug, why? What's the value? I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, I'm going to break it down. The value proposition or slogan statement for the portable blender is the perfect blender for the gym, work, or on travel. Okay, who's this product for? Health enthusiasts, professionals, travelers. Now, keep in mind, in COVID, there were no travelers, right? Then you've got the unmet need. Okay, 1, this thing represents access to a healthy diet. 2, no excessive cleanup time. 3, it's portable for travel. And you know what's interesting? A lot of people that bought this during COVID weren't traveling. But they knew eventually they're going to start traveling again. So they're going to hoard, right? They're going to say, I got to get it. I got to get it. It's still valuable to me. 3, in competitive advantage. I said there's 4 ways to compete. You guys don't know this thing is cheap. So it's not brand, it's not technology, it's definitely not community, it's cheap. Last thing, unique selling point. You could get different color options. It's a durable material, low energy, portable dimensions. Now, it should shock you that a portable blender was the #1 product on the almighty Amazon platform. So this lets you know, first of all, customers don't discriminate on value. Like, it all doesn't have to be hot, sexy products or Tesla products. Bottom line, if you are the right product, right situation, right time, deliver the right value, then you're going to definitely do it. And look, you guys, look, I knew that InNOut Burger was going to mess you guys up. Look, some people are still talking about the eating some cheese fries and hot dogs and stuff like that. I already know. See, look, and then yet all of you say, no, I'm not going to wait 2 hours for that InNOut Burger. You know what? Once this session's over, you're going to go over there and you're going to wait 2 hours for this InNOut Burger. Watch, and you're going to feel guilty about it too. Okay. 3rd example, value does translate in your own personal life. Your own life. Look at this guy here. Look at this idiot here. This is Doug Younger in 2006, right? Graduate of Case Western. What you guys didn't even know, you can apply this value proposition stuff to yourself. 1, what was at that time, right? My value statement was, hey, I'm an MBA. Look how it looked, by the way, I wasn't cynical then, right? Like my little beady eyes were so happy, right? You see this, right? It says MBA seeking growth health tech company with family culture that I can contribute analytically to product create and to win post-graduation. It actually turned out to be Guidant, by the way. That was bought by Boston Scientific that picked me up. 1, I was looking for something specific. 2, I was looking in certain industries, med device, emerging tech, startup or growth. Okay. 3, my unmet needs were innovative marketing, strong sector knowledge, analysis and valuations. That was my view. My competitive advantage. Notice MBA, I'm saying, who cares about that? Soft skills, I was in Toastmasters for 12 years. So improvisational speaking, I'm good at it. Hard skills, right? At that time, I was Microsoft certified. I think I was even Adobe certified. I was very techie, right? Bottom line, what I communicated was my competitive advantage, was my value system that I'd never quit. And you'll hear that. My employees will tell you, I'll never quit. I don't know when to quit. It's actually a fault too. My unique selling points are listed there. My comment to all of you, you need to think value perspective, not just in your business, not just in your life, how you consider yourself, how you evaluate everything should be around not the product, not the widget, not the company, but the value that is created, right? Okay, now you guys ready for an interactive game? We're gonna play a good one here. Okay, this is called the value proposition voting game. We're gonna go through 5 rounds. I'm gonna need 2 volunteers per round. So now I get some of you off the bench and in the game. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through some very popular products, even controversial concepts. Each of you are gonna give me 1 word to describe the value that you perceive of that product. And then everybody gets to vote on how each person loaded everything. Don't worry, it'll make total sense. So first, I don't know. Am I going to get volunteers or do I have to pick people? I think you guys are going to volunteer. Let me at least show you the round and then we'll see who gets really passionate about it. Round 1. You guys are hungry and I already knew it. So the food round. Let's fight head to head. The Popeyes chicken sandwich versus the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. Now, I'm assuming because so many of you already had an InNOut burger, I'm pretty sure you already know about this Popeyes chicken sandwich. Let's talk about this, okay? So first of all, keep it simple, right? Was it broach bun, spicy sauce, pickle, chicken fried? It says that's all this is. But I think there's going to be a couple camps out there. So who wants to be the volunteer to go with me through the Popeye chicken sandwich? Matt, I'm going to pick on you because you always have an interesting perspective. Now, Matt, unmute yourself. Now, have you had the Popeyes chicken sandwich, Matt?
You know what, man? As funny as it sounds, Doug, I have not.
Oh, but Chick-fil-A, have you done that?
I go there once a day.
Perfect. Okay, so now let's go for the Chick-fil-A. Okay, so we're going with, look, I'm going to real time write this in. So we got Matt here. Okay, let me just wipe these out here. All right, so Matt's going to Chick-fil-A. So Matt, one word. What do you think is the value of the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich for you? One word.
I would say fresh.
Okay, very good. Okay, and who's the chicken sandwich for?
Like just anyone in general?
Yeah, just throw one out there. Who's it for? It's for you, right? So who are you?
So I am a hungry customer that's emotionally driven.
Hungry. Got it. Unmet need is you are hungry.
Hungry.
Pretty clear. And what is the competitive advantage of the Chick-fil-A to you? Like what do you think is it price? It's not the cheapest burger, right? Is it probably brand, right? Because
I would say it's probably, the freshness, and I love the service, the way they make you feel there.
Yeah, that's brand. Those are brand characteristics. Okay. And what's one selling point about that burger? Like what makes it good? Like is it the taste? Is it the wrapping? Is it that pickle is crunchy? Like what is one thing?
It's that crispy chicken, man. That crispy chicken that satisfies the hunger, and it's organic and gluten-free. No, I'm just kidding.
Gotcha. Look, he's trying to sell you guys now. So, okay, who's had the Popeye chicken sandwich? Zach, let's go. So, Zach, so here we go, Zach. You're in the game. Okay, so what's the value? One word value that Popeyes is doing for you?
The reason I first got it is because of that whole social media trend behind it. It just started blowing up everywhere. That's when I first got the chicken sandwich.
So it's trendy.
Yeah, trendy. That's a good way to put it.
And then Target, who's it for? Social media users?
Yeah, just followers. Honestly, that's where I fall into.
Followers. Very good. And then the unmet need, you're hungry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And what's the advantage?
I would say price, because it's only about like $3 or something like that.
Okay, so it's price. Okay. And then okay, now we got, what's the unique thing about it?
I've had both of those, and I have to say the Popeyes one is a little more crunchy than the Chick-fil-A. I have to say that.
Okay, everybody sound off in the chat. Matt, Zach, head on. Popeyes chicken sandwich versus Chick-fil-A. Who's the winner? Just write it in there. Is it Chick-fil-A or Popeyes? Oh, look at that. Look at Brittany right away. 100% Chick-fil-A. Come on, sound off here. Sound off. I got 3 Chick-fil-A's, 3 Popeyes. It's neck and neck. Now Popeyes is going the other way now. Popeyes is winning now. 4, no, even again. Chick-fil-A is a little ahead. So it's almost 50-50. I think it's 50-50 here. I don't think there's a clear one. No. Oh, wait, what did you say? Oh, look, okay, I have to vote. We're not doing a tiebreaker though. Let me tell you this. Bottom line, I'm very biased on that. That Popeye's chicken sandwich is dynamite. And look, I'm a cooker. I'm a cooker at home. I've been trying to make a Popeye's chicken sandwich myself. Like, you don't even know. I've broken down the ingredients and everything. I can make them, but not like that. I don't know. The research worked out. Okay, round 1 is done. Let's now go to round 2. Okay, it's getting exciting here. Now, in the last session, we had a lot of talk about this Tesla Cybertruck, right? I don't know if you guys remember, some of you remember, right? Like, is it a niche product? Who's it for? And by the way, it's got the most pre-orders of any Tesla ever, which means it's clearly not just for truck owners, right? But did you guys note that there's a Hummer EV now as well? There's a Hummer electric truck, and that thing is nice. So who's in the market to buy an EV vehicle? Who's thinking about buying electric now? Nobody. Nobody's passionate about it. Is it? Okay, there we go. Becky's one. Okay, Becky, unmute yourself. Becky, unmute yourself. So Becky, now did you pre-order the Cybertruck or no?
No, I would purchase one if I had the means.
Here we go. Hold on. So and now, do you own a truck right now?
No, I own a hybrid, small SUV.
Oh, look at you. Okay, so you're already in the space. There we go. Very good. So okay, so let's so if you had to pick one to fight for, which one would you go? You Cybertruck or Hummer EV?
The Hummer.
Oh, listen to you. Look at the proudness of that. So wait, I already know where this one's going. Okay, so here we go, Becky. So what's the one word that summarized the value proposition of the Hummer EV to you?
Maybe brand on this one.
I 100%. I was going to say, you sounded loyal when you said the Hummer. You just
I've never had
right
a Hummer.
away.
Just
wait. Let me ask you this question: is it that it's like the Hummer's like a land take, and like you can drive over people, like it's empowerment? Yeah. Is that what it is for you?
Yeah, I mean, just the two pictures. The Tesla looks a little like I don't know, spacey.
Okay. So who's it for?
But
who's the target customer? Who's the target?
I would say like a truck owner.
Okay, and then what's the unmet need? Why a Hummer EV? Because that's another one. Look, that's kind of like the mouse in the abandoned field. Like, think of it this way: like, there's nothing economical about a Hummer, right?
Right. So I would say
it's an EV vehicle.
It's an environmentally conscious person who needs to carry loads around. Or
Becky, let me ask you this question. I'll write it, but do you really think an environmentally conscious person is ever going to buy a Hummer? I don't know.
I mean, I was looking at the Chevy Silverado hybrid. If you're saving the environment and you can have a truck, I mean, it's best of both worlds.
I agree. So brand, I assume, is the competitive advantage, right? What do you know? So you have to consider, what is the one thing about it? Is it the size? There's the look. You said it looked Tesla. Better. Yeah.
I think it looks more like a truck. That's why I think truck owners, like, it would be better for truck owners.
Okay, that's an interesting point. Okay, so authentic, right? It's an authentic to trucks, right? Okay, is there a Cybertruck fighter out there? Is there one person that's thinking about the Cybertruck? No? Oh, wow. So okay, fair. Okay, I'm going to count to 3. If nobody takes Cybertruck, that means the Hummer wins automatically. Becky wins on, oh, there we go. Okay, now look, Steve wouldn't let it happen, right? He didn't even let me count. All right, so Steve, unmute. Let's go. Let's do this. Go ahead, Steven. Why the Cybertruck for you? What's the value?
I said I like the Hummer.
Oh, look at that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Cybertruck loses. Look at that, yeah. Becky. Hey, thanks for playing. Look at you.
No disrespect, Doug. When you get your Tesla, I do want to drive in it though.
You're saying you won't buy the Cybertruck, but you definitely.
Well, because like the Hummer has like that when I think of like the GM and the Hummer, I think of like truck. I want a truck, and I do like the aesthetics of it. Like the little nuances in the Hummer, they have like homage to like the moon, and like they have like some really cool unique features that make.
Listen how primal his reaction.
Yeah, it's just like if I want to visceral, like beefier, right? Like I could think I go off road on that and like tow and like really push it to the limit.
And I saw, and Becky's nodding her head, Stephen, while you're talking. Like Becky's on the same exact page. Like, look, yeah, so we're coming out here, right? You guys are coming out here. Let's do another round, okay? Let's do another round, okay? I think we have time for let's just go to final round. Okay, let's go to the final round. I'm skipping to the last one. All right. This one is going to be a shocker. This one's a shocker. Okay, round 5. Sports round. Who's the greatest of all time now? Michael Jordan or LeBron James? Now, I already know this is going to bring some very evil sentiments out of people. Look, Steven already refused to unmute and already said Michael. That's one. Then look, the chat, I didn't even ask anybody anything. You got MJ already out there. Somebody's already thrown Kobe out there. Like, look, it's getting personal now, right? This is, look, value delivered, guys. Like, look, remember, economic, emotional, rational. I think we left rationality out of that first round, right? Like all the rationality went out with the chicken sandwich round, right? Like now the emotions are coming out. Okay, so is there a person out there? I'm gonna do it the other way because I already know. Like, is there one person that feels LeBron James should be given his credit or give his due? So is there a LeBron James taker out there? Come on, there's got to be one. I mean, that guy, look, was it social responsibility, all these things, like he's doing good. Like, I mean, was this he's the all-time highest scorer ever? Okay, 3. Okay, I'm gonna count down. 3, 2.
I mean, I would, but I don't know enough about him.
Okay, well, no, we got somebody. Rakima, are you gonna step up here? You gotta say something. King James, right? King James.
No. I
so
don't
you're
agree.
just giving him credit.
But I
you're
think
just saying
he's a
good in
great
the
person.
community.
Yes, he's a good person. And I'm not saying that he's not a good basketball player, but not.
So it looks like it's unanimous that Michael Jordan wins, right? Does that make you feel good?
Yeah.
Now look, I look, this game, I think you can see, brings out the visceral nature of what you guys are up against as small business owners. Value is a very powerful thing, right? Like, even all the rationality can go out the door if the right value means something to the right person. So let me recap here. Value is not a product or a feature, right? You need to add value in everything you do in your life. You already know how to do it. You guys are already talking about going to InNOut after this session. Create and deliver value by solving real problems. Don't come up with hypothetical things that people don't want. Don't give them something that they don't need. Analyze the pain and gain of your customers. Never forget that. Think about, how do you want to compete? And that's important. Notice these brands we were talking about. Like, are you a brand company? Are you the lowest cost option? Are you a community? Are you technology? Make arguments intelligently. I mean, one thing you could see from me in this, even though these products are emotionals and they're triggers, right? That Chick-fil-A was a trigger. Like, I knew what that was going to do to somebody. But make your arguments intelligently, because at the end of the day, remember, emotional, rational, economic. If you go with somebody that is informed and economically minded with emotion, you're going to lose every time. If you go to somebody that's rational with emotion, like, look at the pretty colors, they're going to shut you down every time. You got to qualify the type of customer you have and communicate value correctly. And lastly, perceive life from value proposition. My closing remarks, with 1 minute left, I don't want any of you to go out like Blockbuster versus Netflix. You guys, I don't know if you guys even can remember back Blockbuster Video. But look at even the phrases, the intellectual war that goes into communicating value. Blockbuster brings the good times home. But guess what? Netflix, see what's next. Notice you don't have to go somewhere and bring it home. Notice Netflix doesn't care whether you're at home, whether you're at work, whether you're at school. Bottom line, you just want to see that next episode, right? You ravenous people want to see that next episode. And they got that right. So my comment to all of you, be value oriented. Communicate value at all times. Live your life value oriented. That's right. I know. I see you couples out there, right? Deliver value for your husband. Deliver value for your wife. Deliver value in everything you do, and you will be a very popular person, right? Does this make sense? I personally will stay on for 15 minutes. I love the attendance, the engagement, the examples. I hope you guys are enjoying this chamber event. Remember, the San Diego Chamber of Commerce is creating a platform that business leaders get together and we can talk about stuff. So I really appreciate all of you. Oh, look, Monica said she can't wait for the next one. Yeah, no, man. Like we're gonna do great stuff. We got some more twists and turns for you guys in the next one. Look, it's on the calendar already. That's what Brittany said. Oh, look at Matt. So Matt, you don't want to do virtual. Matt wants to go real world. No, that's possible. But Matt, do you like hockey? Exactly. Look, Rakima got it figured out. She said, hey, what about the hockey game? You just got to reach out. You just got to email Chamber, say you want to get in contact with Doug. Go on my website. You can email me there. You can figure it all out. Yep, Zach wants to do the Gulls game. Okay, very good. Anybody, you guys can go. You can ask questions. Feel free to unmute if you want to ask any questions or deep dive in anything. Appreciate all the commentary from everyone.
Doug, I appreciate you, brother. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. Matt, did it live up to expectations? Did the session live up to expectations?
Doug, it was great, man. Love your enthusiasm and your fire, dude. I'm stoked to meet in person with all of you guys. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Yeah, awesome, Matt. You take care.
I'm heading to Chick-fil-A right now.
I might be heading to Popeyes. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Zach, don't take it personally. I think Matt might get it. Look, you've already planted the seed, Zach. He might say,
There you go.
I need to cross over there and see what this is all about. Maybe
all you need.
Zach got it wrong.
If I can get my Tesla Cybertruck, because Popeyes is farther, then I'm going to Popeyes.
There you go. Love to see it. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no worries, Zach. I mean, look, value, Zach, you can see the emotion on people, right? Like,
Absolutely.
These are radical notions. Like, these are things, when you really get it right, your customers will fight for you.
Yes, sir.
Ravenously. Like, look, I've seen it. Like, we've created the type of value proposition where later on, somebody goes on the message board and they throw some shame at the company. And then suddenly, wham, there's like 10 people like, no. And then they just spam them and they go after
people. Take it personally. They really do.
Absolutely.
They really
but they'll
do.
only do it if it matters to them and value is created. That's the only way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Hopefully I'll see you at the next hockey game.
I'll see you, Zach. You take care.
Cool.
So Monica, you've been to quite a few. I've seen you've been to many of these sessions, right?
Yeah, and all of them actually.
And then Rakima, I think you were on the last one too. You were on the one the last session,
No.
weren't you? Oh, you weren't on.
No, I'm new to the chamber, so this is my
so this
first
is your first
event
session?
period. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, how do we do there? Was this an informative session?
Yes, it was. It was.
You'd come back and do it again.
Yes, I would.
Hey, there we go.
Definitely. Definitely.
I mean, hopefully it adds value. Pun intended, right? Hey, Fred, are you still there? It was great to see you that you were able to join. No, he's probably not there. Norma?
You guys have a good day.
Hey, see you, Rakima. Norma, was this a good session for you?
It was. Thank you very much.
Is it hard to articulate value, Norma? Like in your business? It's easy.
It's
Simple.
pretty easy. It can be easy, I think, because one product.
Only certain products, though. I mean, I've seen, you guys don't know, I've seen bad products sell well with good marketing. But see, that goes back, that's slippery slope. Because at the end of the day, if it's not really achieving the value, yeah, that can be bad, because then the person will get on there, it doesn't do what they, like the brand promise doesn't deliver, and then they're upset. And then they become your most dreaded enemy. Like, you don't want that. So I'm going to stick around here a little bit longer. Monica, you have any questions?
No, I was just gonna say, I feel like when you're trying to like, when you start thinking of like a business or some kind of product, you really have to put in a lot of thought to what's really gonna make people like stick. Like,
Yep.
you know, what's really gonna provide value for everybody, and that's different from all the other products out there. I don't know. I think it's
100% agree. I'm saying this, it's not only that you have to give a lot of thought about the product, you have to give a lot of thought of even like the business itself, like the brand name of the business or the website of the business, because all those things factor into competitive advantage, right? Like if, for example, if you, let's say, focus, so I have a lot of engineer clients, right? If you focus exclusively on the product, and a lot of people obsess on the product, and then you give your company this bad name, you go cheap website, let me tell you what happens there. It's like your competitive advantage appears that it's price, as in low cost, but then you made this premium product, and you're going to try and get premium dollars with a low cost website or a low cost experience. What it causes is brand confusion, because then the people are saying, wait, but you look cheap, but then your service is expensive. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, I would say you're right. Your instincts are right, but I think it goes, that's the start of the rabbit hole. Like, it's like your company name, the style, the colors, the fonts have to communicate clearly which camp are you in. And that's look, the big dogs that do it well, they cause visceral reactions. Like, look, you saw that. Like, they cause people to fight. Like, they drive loyalty, and they understand this. Yeah. So for small business, I think it's about with your limited resources in small business, like, how can you capitalize on these things? I'm sorry, what were you saying, Monica?
Oh no, I actually forgot what I just said.
Yeah,
sorry.
No worries. It's important concepts, right? Important concepts.
It goes really deep into everything.
Well, value is, I mean what I say to people, like, look, deliver value for your husband and your wife. Like, it's everything you do. It's really kind of about this concept. This is kind of like the Force, you know, everything in at least this capitalist system is based on value, or the perception of value.
Almost like, what can you do for me?
No, but you know, in that phrase, a lot of people look at it as negative, but it's kind of like, actually, it's true. What can you do for me? Because if you're not going to do something valuable, then I'm wasting my time. If I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting my money. It's kind of important. But if you, in every aspect of your life, create value, guess what? Everything's going to be easy. It's going to be easy in relationships. It's going to be easy in socially. It's going to be easy in work. I mean, everything runs better when, at the end of the day, you're always creating value for other people.
I love that. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. You take care. Maybe no questions. I'll give it 1 more minute. Good commentary on chat today. We have, let's see.
Thank you, Doug, so much for your time. Have a
See
good
you,
one.
Monica. Take care, my friend. I'm going to shut it down. We're leaving anyway. Okay, I'm going to end here.